Hey folks, Small Designs here, and this is part 8 of the Tamiya 1/35th scale M4A3E8 tank build. So there we go folks, there is the tank. It is complete. The only thing I have to do is maybe decorate the inside of one of the hatches so that I can accommodate one of the crew figures. But as far as the tank is concerned, we are done. I think it turned out really nice. So in this video we're going to go over what I have done to the tank since the last video and what is next for this build. So let's just take a tour here of the tank itself. So as you can see, we added the logs, we got all the stowage gear on, and the cool thing is nothing is permanent. So if you wanted to take the logs off, it's just undoing the rope or the string. Same thing with the stowage gear. It is just held on by the rope. See all the stuff in the back, here, all of that is just basically held on by the the strength of the string. So if someone, like I said, all my work is for sale. I just really neglected to really put it out there, for sale, I guess you can say. Obviously this is still under construction, and my other work has gone to private collectors, but with this still being under construction, it's not ready yet. But I like to give options when I build my stuff, right? I don't want to just say, here it is, this is how it is. You're not able to change it. And the cool thing with this is, you can take things off, or you can switch it around. You can kind of play with it a bit, right down to the 50 caliber machine gun. You can swivel it. I made it so it's not glued in, so you can put it in any position you want. You can have it up, going up or down. It's whichever position you want. I made it just so. I had it, with the balancing or whatever, so it's not going back and forth, and I did it with a little bit of a peg inside. So that's a cool little feature there as well. But getting back to this stuff right here, you can play with it a little bit. So if you don't like how that's set up, you don't have to keep it that way. In the logs and stuff, I mean, you only have one option there, I guess, on or off. But yeah, it turned out really nice. As far as the 30 cal is concerned, it's it's stationary with that. And then the hatches, I didn't glue the hatches in, so if someone really wanted to, you could pose the hatches up or down. But that is that. Now, the hatch I was talking about earlier about doing some work to is right there. I want to put a crew figure in there. So I am going to do some work to the inside of that hatch, because we're going to have it open and a guy sitting in there. At least that is the plan. And then like right here even, that can come off if you don't want it. Same with the spare tracks. If you don't want it sitting there, that can come off. The tow cable, that is permanently on. I mean, if someone really wanted to, they could rip it off, but I do have that permanently attached as far as, gluing goes. So it seems that we are talking about the tow cable. That is just this piece of string right here. Now, if you see a little bit of a sheen to it, this string here was just, this actually came with my other M4A3 kit, the Korean War kit. I just took it from there. Now, this was just a brown piece of string that I actually took my titanium and silver out of this stuff here. What I did is I actually just wet my fingers and kind of put my fingers through that, and then just ran my fingers down the string, and that's what gave us this metallic look. So I just basically put that little bit of water on my fingers, kind of went like this on my sets, and then just streaked the string, and that's what gave it that metal look. So once it kind of dried a little bit, and then I just cut and placed. So that's what gave it that, you know, metal look. And then of course, I went over it with a little bit of the, you know, the mud, a little bit of the rust, and that was the finished product. So that was very simple to do. And then for the logs, I primed them in white primer, and then I used that paint right there, that old wood. And then once that dried, I actually used my Obtolong burnt umber, I believe this is called. Yeah, burnt umber. And again, with my brush and with my fingers, I just, you know, ran my fingers down with the oils. As you can see, gave it that, you know, old kind of wood look. And then with just paper towel, I wiped the excess off. And then again, I took my mud, my soot, and it really gave that, you know, gritty look to it. And then I just took my rope, which is the string. When I say rope, I just mean string. And then of course I dirtied my string up too. You know, as you can see, the string's all gritty. That was a bit tricky actually to rope these up. When you do rope your logs up, you're gonna have to basically put something, you know, here just to hold that end up, rope, and then, you know, tie those up on that side, and then put something here, and then tie that end up. Otherwise, it'll kind of fall all over the place. So trying to rig those up is a little tricky, but once they're on, it looks really nice. Like that. And then to weather them, I used my effects. As you can see, I got a bunch of them now. I really like those, but I used my mud effects on them just to keep it consistent. As you can see, there's the mud effects on them. So those turned out really, really nice. I really like the logs. The same thing with some of the stowage gear. Actually, I actually had some more string or whatever. I thought, you know what, I'll add some more string or rope to my gear, just to make, you know, just to add more to it. And as you can tell, that set there, that's what I've been using for the stowage gear. I didn't use all the gear. I thought, you know, I'm just going to leave some stuff out. I may even add more stuff in. In fact, I'm actually going to be adding a little bit more to the diorama as it goes, and I'm going to talk about that in a minute here. But I thought, you know what? I have tons of string. You know, I might as well take a bunch, weather it, and roll it up, and just add to my diorama. And there's the end of the tow cable, as you can see. And if you look right here, there's a bit of a splashed mud effects, and that's, you know, the effects over there, the splashed mud. I really like those sets there. Even the petrol spill I used right there. You probably can't see, the camera might not pick it up, but you know, because we drilled those holes in from a few videos ago, you know, I had a little bit of a spill coming down. Just, you know, more things to add to your model. And as you can see, we've got the antenna in now, and that's from this set right here, from Voyager model. Obviously you get a bunch of them in this set, but I waited till last to put it in, otherwise I'd end up knocking it off, you know, a couple dozen times. But that's in there now. In some of the stowage stuff I weathered, and some of it I didn't, right? Because I'm posing this tank as if it maybe just, you know, come off the line, resupplied, and went back, you know, into service. So some stuff would be weathered, and some stuff might not be, you know, so much. Especially like the MREs. You know, but some of the ammo cans look like they've, you know, traveled a little bit. As you can see with the 50 caliber there. Now the box to this 50 caliber, I took from my Korean tank, my Korean theater. I found it was better than, you know, the one that came with this kit. And then I did a little bit of doctoring, and then I put some of the 50 cal rounds from this set. They're just a little more authentic. And you can see right there. That's what they look like. Now that's just using a Sharpie. I used a gold color and then like a copper color Obviously the copper simulates, you know, the lead, and then the brass. And then there's your finished result right there. And the same kind of idea right there for the 30 cal. Now obviously that came with that other set that I bought. If you go a couple of videos back, you'll see what I'm talking about. And then I just combine the two sets, and then there we go. There's some more of the splash mud effects, things like that. So I'm very happy on how this turned out. So once we get, you know, the hatch open and the crew, you know, figure sitting in there, it's going to look really cool, especially when it's sitting on the diorama. So I did buy one more crew figure, and that was this one right here. Because originally, you know, I was said that, you know, we're going to have a couple guys outside the tank, you know, one sitting, you know, kind of visible, and we'll pretend, you know, that the fifth guy was going to be inside the tank. But I thought, you know what, let's have the whole crew showing. So now we have all 5. So we'll have, you know, 3 around the fire, 1 sitting on the tank, and then 1 sitting, you know, semi outside the tank, inside the tank, like right there. So there we go. This one's called Morning Spam. So there we go. So 3 around the fire, 1 sitting on the tank somewhere, and then 1 in the tank. So that'd be real cool. So I did pick up, or ordered, when I say pick up, I mean ordered, beer bottles and wine crates. Now this is going to come in handy in many of my dioramas and builds to come. So I figure we'll throw this in, or like one of these crates in this diorama somewhere. So that's going to be fun to add into, because I noticed one of my crew figures is holding a bottle of some sorts. I don't have them in this frame, but there's one of these crew figures, you know, that's going to be around the fire is holding a bottle. So I figure, let's show where the bottle came from. So I ordered this set here. So we might as well have, you know, around the fire, we'll have a, you know, a crate of bottles here, and maybe, you know, the guy that's sitting on the tank will put a bottle beside him. You know, why not, right? Well, they're at rest. So this is going to be a cool set to have. And then we can obviously use this in other builds as well. So there we go. That is, you know, the tank itself. Very, very happy on how this, you know, has turned out. These M4 builds are absolutely fun to, you know, to do. I can't wait to continue the other builds on these with, you know, the other ones. I'm going to be showing you off like another video I'm going to be doing is because I ordered a bunch of different M4 tank models. I'm going to do a video showing all the M4s that are available to buy, just because someone had asked me, you know, what M4 model is the best one to get, because they weren't too sure of the variants, things like that. So I'm going to kind of cover that to the best of my knowledge. But anyway, I'd like to know what you think. Please like, share, and subscribe. And please make sure you are subscribed. For, I believe today, or yesterday and today, YouTube is kind of doing some house cleaning. So please make sure that you are subscribed, because you might be accidentally unsubscribed. So it's very important that you hit that subscribe button and the like button. It definitely helps the channel grow, and it allows me to keep bringing you this content. So thank you so much for the support. It's been a lot of fun, and I look forward to talking to you guys. So thanks so much for watching.